Thank you so much, Richard and Walter. And I think you took a hard task and hopefully were able to shed a lot of light on your views. I think the common theme is good management and capital. I think that was in both case studies the case. Let's go back again to what you said at first, Walter, comparing it to retail. And sort of my wife is a doctor, so going back to diagnosis of why we are where we are. I think the interest rate component you showed and the sentiment and the capital lack, I think that is across the sectors true. But what's really fundamentally changed, and look back at retail sales, e-commerce, right? Is it COVID? Is it home office? Is it the lack of employees going back to the office? And what's the sentiment around that? And how will that, I mean, e-commerce really, I think, is a structural change because of technology. And working from home was an effect that was, I think, really pushed and turbocharged with COVID, which was a shorter time frame. So how do you see that impacting driving demand again for office?
So I'll start with a philosophy. Our economies all grew up off an industrial base, blue-collar work, factories, production. That was not ever remote. Right? So you start off with a blue-collar industrial economy. As it grew, you added the white-collar work over that to manage it, to make it successful, to make it profitable, what have you. And very naturally, the white-collar colleagues were with the blue-collar production people, and therefore the topic of presence for white-collar work was kind of a given. I mean, your blue-collar colleagues had to go to work, so you went to work too. And that continued on and on and on. And the culture of you're only productive if I see you. That was already eroding pre-COVID. But of course, as we all know, COVID showed a high level of white-collar productivity with no one in the office. So now the genie was out of the bottle. The managers couldn't say, you're not productive because I can't see you. And the high-quality labor force is saying, hey, I've been productive for 18 months, so give me some flex. And that is a hard argument to overcome because at the end of the day, it's all about productivity, just like the blue-collar colleagues showed through automation and whatever. It's all about productivity. So I wouldn't bet against that. So the flexible hybrid workspace is what everybody's dealing with right now, and they'll do it in their flavor and what have you. So therefore, that impacts, if I'm going to be in the office, that's not the default. I need to be in the office.